Paul Pierce. Gut feeling on where does Paul George play next season?
Man, I got a feeling he stays in L.A., Skip. I mean, he's has an established home here with his family. This is probably his last contract of his career. And I can see the Clippers making a deal close to the max that he'll just look like, hey, you know, you get the best of both worlds. You figure the healthy Clipper team is probably the deepest team in the league still. They're probably a contender when they're healthy. So if he has a chance to stay home, get close to max money, and play on a contender, you're getting everything you want. I mean, he's still at the peak of his superpowers. You know, he had a great year last year. I mean, the numbers don't lie. 23, 5, 4, 41 from 3, 47 from the field. You stay home, you play with Kawhi, James Harden. Who knows if Westbrook is coming back? Hopefully they sign James Harden. I don't think he leaves. I just don't see a situation where you go up to Golden State just for a couple extra dollars. He's made a lot of money. He's made a lot of money in this game. So if he has a chance to stay comfortable and play for a contender, because I just don't think he makes the Warriors a contender more so than the Warriors. I just don't. And I like him with the Clippers. Hopefully we get a chance to see them on a healthy roster in a playoff setting to see what they really have, because when they were good, when they were healthy, they were really good. I mean, they really went on a run after James Harden settled in. They went on a nice little run there. And people, like at one point, they had him as the favorite to win the championship for like maybe a week or so. Like, I don't know how long it was, but it was like, well, you know, the Clippers could win.
Yeah, I became Clipper Keyshawn.
Yeah, so I think he stays home. I think
Closet Clipper.
You know, whether if he takes a couple $1 million less just to stay home, I think that's what Paul does. And I think it'll be great for him.
You know, I don't think this is, I think it's a couple things at play here. I don't think it's a financial thing. I think it's more of a respect thing, number one. It's not a financial thing, because whether it's 200 or 195, it's the same. It ain't much. I mean, I can't count another person's ends, but you know what I'm saying. And I mentioned yesterday the Warriors, as we were talking about where could he possibly go. I mentioned the Warriors was a situation. The best case scenario, if he was to move, would be the Warriors. The worst case scenario would be the Clippers. And the reason is if you go back a week or two now, you know, Paul George was giving you little hints as if he wasn't all kumbaya with the franchise or maybe even teammates, for that matter. He talked about that openly without mentioning names, just kind of saying the way it was constructed before with the glue players and the players that they had and things of that nature to where they were now. And the only new faces, obviously, was James Harden. Was one of the new pieces that came in. Kawhi's always hurt when it matters most. So it made me feel like, okay, well, he may be eyeing a move. He may be eyeing a move. And eyeing that move is maybe Golden State. Golden State wouldn't put that out there if it wasn't previous conversations with somebody in his camp to be able to say, hey, man, take a look at this. He may be sniffing at this. For them to even put that out there, they just not going to just say, we ready to offer him without some initial conversations from somebody, okay, whether they sent the bird up there with a note or not. Somebody got wind of his unhappiness in the Clippers situation. One, because of how they're treating his contract situation, where he's asking for X amount of years, X amount of money, and they're saying no, no, no. And he's like, okay, you know what? I like California. You hear it didn't say L.A., it said California.
Okay. That's my question for both of you. You grew up here. Okay, A, how would you feel later in your career, because he's 14 years in the league, about uprooting again and living for the basketball season in, let's say, Philadelphia? How would that sit with you? How would you feel about that? Because you've lived in New York and you lived in Boston, obviously.
What am I looking for? Am I ring chasing? If I'm ring chasing and I don't like dealing with my teammates, then it's nothing to talk about. I could always move my family with me. I could always pick them up and we can go for those basketball season years and then come on back if we choose to do so. I mean, that's That's the way I would do it if that was the case.
Okay. How comfortable did each of you feel while you were living in New York and Boston as LA kids? Like LA.
Fine. I mean, I was young.
Like,
I had
it's
fun.
different. It's different, Skip, because now you're at the end of your career. I spent the majority of my career over here.
You did.
So, when I ended my career, it was at home. So now I'm looking at Paul. He's at the end of his career. This is probably the last 4 years of basketball he's going to have. And now you're like, why would I pick up and go to Philly for the next 4 years? It's cold. I got to buy a new house.
Yep.
And it's not a guarantee I'm going to win a championship here. Yeah, it looks good. The money's going to be good. He signed a lot of big deals. So like a 10, 15 million difference is not much for him as far as what he's done. I mean, he's going to make $50 million a year.
Money's not money. Like I said, money's not an issue.
Like it's all about your comfortability. He's comfortable at home.
Yeah.
His family's here. His kids are here. Everything is right here.
But is he comfortable, Skip, with his teammates? Is he comfortable with every time I look over there, my road dog is hampered. He's on the end of the bench.
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
But is he
I got
comfortable with that?
other things. My mind right now, my mindset is I'm home. I'm comfortable. Like, what your teammates don't got nothing. You can
But
make
you're trying
that
to win a
work. You
championship.
can make that work.
But
You
you're trying to win a
can make that.
championship.
You don't have to like your teammates to win.
No, it's not. It's not
Kobe
a
and Shaq
dislike.
didn't always get along.
No, but it's not a dislike.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he disliked him. I'm saying when I look up, I'm out here basically, I feel like I'm out here. I signed up to come with you, Kawhi,
Yeah.
but every time I look up, I'm out here by myself. Even though I got other teammates.
Let's say he go to Philly.
And Joel Embiid, same
Joel
thing.
Embiid, he ain't shown
Same
to be
thing.
the most
Same thing.
reliable, healthy
I
player.
understand. Same
So
thing.
I'm going to go 2,000 miles for the same thing.
I didn't
and
say I was
weather?
going to do it. I'm just...
That's what I'm saying. It just makes more sense to me, and I don't really see Golden State. It's California. Yeah, I get it, but still, you still uprooting what you established. You got kids in school and your home you've been in 24/7 throughout the year, 365 days out the year for the last 3, 4, 5 years, and it's just like now I'm at the end.
So why are we even having this conversation?
Because it's about the contract. He wants what he wants, and if the Clippers haven't offered that yet, it's like maybe I should entertain going to Golden State. Maybe I should entertain, and like players, they try to use that for leverage.
I understand.
So maybe it's a leverage play. Who knows? To just up the number, maybe not max, but just up the number. Who knows? But I just don't see him going nowhere.
Okay, so I have lived in the Bay Area. You guys obviously know the Bay Area.
Yeah, I know the Bay Area.
Okay. It's very, very different from here to me.
But Paul is a...
Yeah, okay, I got it. But if Paul George cares, like a priority is home base, and he does have deep roots here because he's from Palmdale, obviously just up the road from L.A., then to go north to the Bay Area is pretty shocking culture shock. Like it's just different.
It's almost like being out of state.
It is. It's not. It's in California, but it's not in California. Right?
Bay Area is different than Southern California.
Yeah, it's a lot different.
So I'm back to where you landed. It just feels like he's bound for the Clippers. To go back, which is why I was a little surprised he took the shot that he took last week, because all of a sudden he's blasting.
That's what I'm saying.
The Harden trade, saying we lost our glue guys. We lost Nick Batum and we lost.
He didn't really
Covington.
say names, but we ain't. We know. Put the dots together.
Yeah, and I don't think James could love that. Management's not going to love it. But sometimes I think, I don't think it was calculated on his part. I think he was just on a podcast, just sort of talking. And sometimes he just starts talking. He just runs away with saying too much.
And then in the playoffs, he was co-hosting on TNT. I think it was TNT.
Yep.
They said something about Kawhi and the Clippers, and he gave a look like, so it was kind of one of those deals where you start trying to read the tea leaves, why his body language took that approach when they start talking about Kawhi. And then, like you said, a week or so ago, he started talking about the glue guys and a trade. And so you're like, well, man, walking into that locker room, it's a little uncomfortable.
A little uncomfortable. But he loves him some L.A., and so do the rest, because they're all Southern California, right?
Yeah,
I'd like to see him.
You got a chance to play. You got a great owner.
You do.
You got